Beach FM, locals talking to locals.
It's Friday. Yay, welcome back into the studio. Hannah Zwartz, she's got her sleeves rolled up, so I guess she's got some jobs for us to do in the garden this weekend. Hello.
Yeah.
What are we talking about today?
It's Friday, so that means, of course, more time for gardening. So today, I thought I don't know about your garden, but my garden, the things are starting to die off. Make some gaps. So those early crops where I had my garlic, for instance, I've got a big empty bed.
Yep.
Where I had areas where I've had nasturtiums growing they've sort of shriveled up and dried off in the drought. Which is quite unusual, but it leaves a few gaps. So I just thought I'd talk about what to do with those gaps. Because you don't really want to leave empty soil. You don't want to leave bare soil. That's where you'll be losing a lot of water.
Yeah.
Anything covering the ground is good for the health of the soil. So in the veggie garden, you can fill in the gaps with a second crop of dwarf beans, maybe. And also basil. Now that the weather's really nice and warm, that will grow nice and fast. Even the nights aren't too cold, so that's a really good crop for this time of year. So basically, the good thing about the beans and basil is they're quite short period crops. So if you don't want to be planting something like a pumpkin or even some things take a long time to mature. If you're planting pumpkins now, I know some people are still planting sweet corn, but personally I think it depends what sort of summer we have. We might have a long, late summer. But, for instance, pumpkins, you probably won't get the ripe fruit. They won't have properly ripened by the time it starts getting cold. Yeah. Whereas beans, it's just a few weeks of turnaround. You'll be picking them. The basil, you want it nice and fresh. And, of course, salad crops, things like lettuces can go in at any time, as long as they get a little bit of shade. So plant them in amongst other things. Beetroot can go in from seed. Just make sure all these things don't plant more than you can water, because you will need to be watering them probably, especially when they're little. Just bear that in mind as you're planting at this time of year.
I've got some of those basil plants from the supermarket, the ones that are in a little pot. And every time I've tried to plant them, they just don't like me. They get in the soil outside and they seem to turn up their toes and die. Well,
there's probably a couple of things going on there. One is that they're planted very, very close together. So those are designed to be in a pot, and they won't have a very big root system.
Right.
So they really rely on a liquid feed rather than on the actual soil. And the other thing is, because they've been inside, they're the term hothouse flower, something that can't survive outside. So even the basil that I've just bought from the garden centre, which is in punnets, so each plant has its own root system, so that gives them a better chance. But I've put it out on the deck for a few days before it goes out in the soil, so that it has a few days to acclimatise and get used to the slightly colder, a bit of wind, but it toughen them up a bit. It's called hardening them off.
Yeah, well, I must have put mine into shock from a sunny windowsill last time straight out into the cold dirt.
That could have been the issue. Yeah, it's hard to say, but anyway, that's what I've been doing.
Oh, well, there you go. I learnt something new every day when I talk to Hannah Zwartz. And, of course, Hannah will be back after the weekend on Monday afternoon. Monday, Tuesdays, Wednesdays and Fridays. She's here at about 2:15. She's Kapiti Coast District Council's Green Gardener. Well, thanks, Hannah. You have a fabulous weekend. We'll catch you on Monday.
Kia ora.
106.3 Beach FM.